What's good, everybody? It's Batman, and we're here. We're going to be doing another banger reaction video. I've never actually heard of this guy. No offense to him or anything like that. He's probably one of the GOATs too, but his name is the Grass Ninja. So if you guys know the vibes, make sure to check him out. Give him all the love and support. Make sure to check out his video as well, the original video source. Go to all the videos, check him out. You name it. Seems like he does a lot of Boruto content as well, and including Naruto. So definitely want to check out all that good stuff. Just get into it. You name it. It seems like he does a lot of cool shit. Kishimoto's statements debunk ninjas can't hang with fire. But yeah, no, he does a lot of stuff. So yeah, once again, definitely just check him out. And have fun with it. You name it, and just go that route. That's all I can really say at the end of the day. Just wanted to kind of shout him out real quick. The vibes. Let's get it. Let's check the video out. It is Minato is stronger than we thought. Okay, I like the intro. It's a long intro though. Alright. It's almost a 30-second intro, to be honest with you.
Quick disclaimer for you guys. This video will not contain any of the leaked images or content for the Minato one-shot. I understand as I'm editing this video that the leaks have come out, but the recording of this video was made before the actual leaks dropped. If you want to find those, I left a link in one of my comments in the community post, probably my most recent community post, so go check it out if you're interested. But I'm not that guy who's going to cover the spoilers and stuff, at least not today. Anyway, enjoy the video. Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going over Minato in all of his forms, bro. So we're talking base form, Sage Mode, and KCM 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So first off, we're going to start with base form because all of his techniques in base form...
Wait, did you just say KCM 1? Minato, he only had KCM 2 though, right? Am I tripping? What?
Augmented or amped by the other transformations, and it's not like he gets new techniques until he reaches like tailed beast mode. Okay, so when we're talking about Minato, my dude is technically a sensor type ninja. So my dude is kind of like Karin Uzumaki. He's a sensory specialist, despite the fact that he's got one of the best senses of chakra control, creating a Rasengan from scratch. My dude is...
He fits all categories, if I'm being honest with you guys. He's a fucking GOAT chakra control, sensory specialist, Sage Mode, KCM2. The list goes on and on and on, bro.
Technically a Sage and a Jinchuriki. He's actually classified as a sensor type ninja, and this comes in the way through his ability to sense Naruto and the Nine Tails fighting Madara and Obito from the Hidden Leaf Village, or wherever the hell Orochimaru reanimated those dudes from.
Yep.
Now, when we go through his jutsu repertoire,
and it's just crack sensory because, like, we know Naruto doesn't get sensory capacity like that until he has Sage Mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. And then even like early, like if you want to be like a dickhead in Naruto, like early like pain arc, not early, just pain arc Sage with Naruto, he can only really sense like a certain like length. You know what I mean? He can't really sense like across the world and shit, you name it. While War Arc Sage with Naruto, that motherfucker can sense like literally across the world, bro, like miles upon miles, so it's insane. So like this man just with base sensory is just cracked, absolutely fucking cracked. Even Tobirama is like, he puts his hand on the wall and he's like, yeah, like fucking I can sense Madara's chakra and all this other shit, whatever, blah blah. While Minato, he just does it just standing there, So it's kind of like implied that Tobirama has to be touching something in order to like sense it in a way, but you could obviously still make arguments that he could sense regardless. He is a sensory specialist as well, but whenever he touches the ground, he senses. He touches the wall, he senses.
Go through some of his techniques, okay? So he has the area scanning technique, which is essentially a jutsu where if you place your finger on the ground, you'll be able to sense the chakra and the locations and the amount of within a given area, okay?
Come on, bro. You got to give that color manga. What
Minato is actually able to take this technique a step further. Since his feet are technically always connected to the ground or some sort of surface, he can just sense the locations of people in general. And we actually see Tobirama has to go out of his way to put his hand on the wall to figure out that there's a huge cluster of chakra going off in like a certain mile radius.
Hey, didn't I just mention that? You
can just tell that the Nine Tails and Naruto are fighting. So even after, like, moments after Naruto's birth, this dude picked up on Naruto. So
hey, that just goes to show Minato's even a better like sensory objectively, bro.
His chakra signature, and he's already familiar with the Nine Tails chakra signature, and from miles away he can tell that both of them are working together.
Yep.
Now, another technique that my man has is the chakra transfer technique, where essentially he can give people his chakra, and this is actually a smaller variation
of
the tailed beast transfer technique. Okay, so my man Minato was able to just pass on his part of the Nine Tails to Naruto, and it's like, it's got to be his first time ever using the tailed beast chakra.
And that's just cracked, bro, because, like, you know, we have all the other statements where Minato can basically, like, fucking, you know, seal without 3 Berdessia and be on, like, Nine Tails level, you know, full power, mind you. He could even, like, suppress and lock the seal on the Nine Tails as well, things like that, etc. Like, we have all those statements, and then with here, he literally has the full Nine Tails inside of him. And he's like, you know what, bro? I need to do this to save my son. And he just gives him the whole Nine Tails and does not die or anything. Like, the whole Biju comes out of his body, goes into Naruto, and he's perfectly fine because it's a different way of extracting the tail beast, and it's basically the way to do it without dying. You know? Now, to be fair, he's an Edo, so technically you could still make the argument that he would die if he actually did that if he was alive, because the main rule is if the Biju comes out of you, you die, right? You know, so, but either way, it's really interesting regardless, and it's just crazy how much of a badass he is, you know?
Transfer or whatever, because how do you practice that? You know what I'm saying? So he's got the chakra transfer technique. He's got the contract seals. So my man is actually able to stop people from summoning their summon.
Let me see this real quick. So this is a contract with the toads that have been passed down through many. Your name. You write your name in blood, and understand that you press your fingerprint in blood. Then, when you want to call them, produce chakra and place down the hand. Yeah, I already know that.
Summoning animals, bro. So if you have a contract set up with Gamma Bunta or a snake or the Nine Tails, when you get hit with this contract seal, this seals your ability to summon anything you have set up a contract with.
Broken.
So this would go for weapons and stuff too. We've seen Sasuke with his little scroll filled with swords. If he got hit with this contract seal, he wouldn't be able to summon new weapons. So 10-10 would be done. And then he can just stop people like Obito from being able to summon the Nine Tails by using the contract seal. Alright, we also talked about the Flying Raijin, the Dead Demon Consuming Seal, and his Rasengan in previous videos. So we're going to skip those. We're going to go into the 8 Tetragram Seal, which was the seal he used on baby Naruto to seal the Nine Tails away. Alright, we also know he has the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, or the Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, where he can basically throw one Shuriken and then use the Shadow Clone Shuriken technique to multiply his shuriken. So we already know his jutsu formula is on his special kunai, which allows him to use Flying Raijin, and we know he likes to utilize them.
Yeah, he does it in the movie, and he also does it against Raikage. When he throws all those fucking shurikens, it's him doing the Shadow Clone technique, basically. So
multiple kunais. Well, even if he only had one, he could just make more using the shuriken.
And now he still has a shit ton of Flying Raijin markers.
Now, this is insane because he has a bunch of other techniques as well. He can use the 4 red yang formation barrier jutsu, which is basically...
You can make 4 shadow clones and do it, basically, yeah.
The jutsu we saw all the Hokages use. So he has a barrier technique, which is basically the most broken thing in the world, because the Ten Tails went on a complete rampage. Obito launched like 4 different Biju bombs, and the barrier withstood it all. Like, sure, it stretched and contorted a little bit, but it didn't break. So even Minato.
And that's just crazy too. Now, to be fair, it was Hashirama, Tobirama, Minato, and Hiruzen. You know, I'm just saying. So I don't know. We really don't have no way to know like how strong it really would be if Minato just did like 4 fucking shadow clones. We know bare minimum it would be red because you have to have Kage level of power in order to utilize that. Otherwise, if you're like Jonin level or even remotely in that ballpark, you can only do like a purple barrier, which is what the Sound 4 did. But, you know, so he could do this. We just don't know how powerful, but it clearly is still very fucking powerful, you know?
The help of other, like 3 other Kage level shinobi could pull off this 4 Crimson Ray ceiling barrier, which basically block all ninjutsu and basically burns anyone that touches it. So you can't even escape this barrier.
Yep.
All right. He also has space-time barriers where he can basically create a barrier, an invisible barrier, and anything that tries to penetrate that barrier would just be teleported into another location. Okay.
Yep.
He's got a lot of jutsu here. So he's got summoning techniques. He can summon toads from Mount Moiboku thanks to his training with Jiraiya.
Yep.
He's got Bring the House Down Jutsu, which is essentially summoning a toad in the sky, having it crash down on people, objects, the Nine Tails. So yeah, my dude is super stacked in base, right? And his reaction time is just ridiculous because he also has the body flicker technique, which he uses in conjunction with Flying Raijin, which is how he can slice you and then teleport somewhere else and slice you again. So my man is low-key busted when it comes to just base Minato.
Oh, then you hear the retards or fucking other like retarded high tier people. But trauma speed and it's literally all the fucking stats. Combat reaction, you fucking name it. You numbnuts. Holy shit! It's the feats are even there. It's stated verbatim. So shut the fuck up with that.
All right. Now when we jump,
literally what we saw in the game with his ultimate, that's exactly what Minato would do to Tobirama. Be fucking beating his ass, teleporting all around, and just slamming him.
Sage mode, all of those techniques get amped even further.
Yep, 10 times bare minimum.
Using Sage mode already gives you a higher degree of sensory awareness.
Yep.
So Minato's already S tier.
So basically imagine like Naruto's Warg Sage mode, and then on top of it with his sensory already combined. So this motherfucker, his sensory at that point is probably like planetary, bro. Like
sensory capabilities are augmented through his Sage,
or just obviously further.
And then his Rasengans, his Flying Raijin, his Body Flicker, his summonings, his sealing jutsus, they're all augmented by Senjutsu Chakra, making them 1,000 times stronger. Relax, it's hyperbole. But still, Minato is wicked busted. Now, the only caveat with him using Sage mode is that since this guy is the Yellow Flash, the fastest shinobi in history, sitting around for however long it would take him to need the chakra necessary to enter Sage mode is just not worth his time. Even though he is a perfect sage, shown by
he's
the
always
eye
moving,
slits
yeah.
and the very limited transformation of his like anatomy. He doesn't turn into some toad creature with weird hands and a buggo nose like Jiraiya. He's a perfect sage, right?
Now, one thing I will say to Kanos, and he knows this probably too, is either way it doesn't even matter because let's say if Minato really thought he needed Sage mode, like he needs that amp, right? All he has to do is teleport away, gather it, come back. Or he could literally teleport 2 or 3 of his shadow clones, have them gather it, coming right back into him like when Naruto did. I could see him doing that even theoretically. But either way, he could just do it himself, come back, and then be a whole other fucking monster. You know what I mean? Like, crack Sage mode Minato, bro, what do you do? What do you even do against that, bro? You know what I mean?
He says,
now there is a question where it comes to play where it's like, why didn't he go to Sage mode when it came to Obito? You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna be honest with you. The way I see it is the reason why is for Obito it just wasn't really like. So there's 2 ways you can go about it because in the war arc it's shown like to where it's implied that he basically just does it instantaneous. Like he closes his eyes, bam, has Sage mode, right? So if you think he can actually activate it instantaneous, then at that point it looks really bad for Minato because it's like. The fact that he doesn't even do that against Obito, and it comes down to a life and death match. The village is on the line, Kushina, his kid, whatever you name it, and you're telling me this motherfucker doesn't want to have the advantage and amp himself even further beyond, you know? It's like, what was he thinking, right? He should just went Sage mode and then just slammed Obito effortlessly, right? You know? Would have even been like a fucking low diff fight, you know, or a mid diff if you want to even go that far. So it's like, you know, I'm just saying, that's all you got to do, you know? yeah, he didn't. Now you could argue like, oh, maybe retcon, maybe Kishimoto just didn't think this far, you know, and like around that time he didn't want him to have sage mode. Yeah, then when it comes to work, now he like for some reason gives him sage mode. You know, it is what it is. But unfortunately, we don't know all of that shit, so we just have to go what we do know. And the fact that we do know he does have sage mode, that just leaves upon the fact that, you know, if he can't do it, you know, like, or if he can't do it instantaneous against Obito, you know, it's either he can't do it instantaneous and he does need time, or he can do it instantaneous, but it wouldn't change anything. Meaning, the Sage Mode amp is actually redundant. Like, it doesn't even matter, because, like, maybe it's just, like, a small amp for him or something. We don't know, you know, like, even though he's a perfect Sage, you know, you name it, and it should give the same shit it gives to Naruto, right? It makes him a monster. For some reason, maybe it just doesn't apply, right? You know, or... You know, like, if you don't think that, you know, maybe the only thing it does, bare minimum, is, like, it gives him, obviously, the nature energy, you know, component of it, to where any of his attacks are now going to be doing nature energy AP. The reason why Minato even went Sage Mode was because only Sage Mode or Taijutsu could hurt Jubi Madara and Jubito. That's why he did it. It wasn't because, like, he needed to be, like, you know, way more strong or anything. No, he just did it because he needs that nature energy hacks AP, right? So it's like, when it comes down to it, you know, you could say bare minimum, maybe his Rising Guns hit harder, you know what I mean, all that. And, you know, obviously it has that hacks component as well of AP, you know. And there you go. Or you could just be like, it just has the hacks component and everything is still the exact same, whether if he was in base, it just now gives him nature energy AP, right? That's the only difference. So Minato's really, really strange. He's really weird. At the end of the day, if I really just had to pick one, over everything, I'd say he can't do it instantaneous. He could do it really quick, but he can't do it instantaneous, and he would have to basically teleport away and then gather it. And the reason why that wouldn't be an option against Obito is because Obito can follow him with Kamui. Every time Minato went somewhere, Obito is right there behind him. Every fucking time. You know, so basically be like a cat and mouse game. Minato tries to get away, and Obito's just chasing him and following him the entire time, and he just can't go into Sage Mode. Like, he would have to use a Shadow Clone to do it or whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, that's just kind of what you're working with. At the end of the day, in character, where we at least know no matter what, he just doesn't do it in character. He never really uses Sage Mode, and it gets even worse for Minato. He says verbatim that he just basically, you know, he's just not good at it, you know what I mean? Or, like, what, and all this other shit, and you name it. So it's like... It really just comes to the point where, you know, even though he looks like a perfect Sage, he's not necessarily a perfect Sage, right? If that makes sense. Sounds like a contradiction, but at least based upon everything we have and him fighting, you name it, that's just kind of like the possibility in the proper interpretation of when it comes to things, you know? But either way, that's always a can of worms. You guys can say whatever you want with that, or how you feel when it comes to Minato Sage, whether if you think it's competent, whether if you think it amps him, whether if you think, you know... Yada, 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 but, you know, that's just you.
He's never actually used it in combat, but neither had Naruto. He sparred with the Toads, but his first ever actual fight in Sage Mode was against Pain, and my dude was killing it. So, Minato in Sage Mode, perfect Sage Mode, mind you, plus his base form, it's just ridiculously broken. And then you give him a...
I agree. If it's under the pre-assumption that he has the same exact amp and attributes as Naruto, I would agree. Absolutely.
Or his Jinchuriki form, where he just straight up got permission from Kurama to just use his chakra. Like, he was like, you know what? We've been fighting for eternity in that Reaper's belly, bro. You can use my chakra. So he's got KCM1 and KCM2,
he's not wrong, bro.
Which means...
Like, imagine that Aito's being, like, trapped for eternity. He's like, you know what? The war's going on. Madara's here. Whatever, blah, blah. You know, you're right. Let's just work together. Here you go, bro. Oh, shit.
He can use the Tailed Beast transformation, where Naruto basically goes from KCM1 to KCM2, and KCM2's biggest feature is that he can summon a chakra avatar of the Ninetales. Minato has that as well. He can use the Tailed Beast Bomb, he can use the chakra arms, anything we've seen Naruto do, minus Rasen Shurikens, Minato has that in the bag. And another thing, being the Jinchuriki of Kurama specifically allows you to sense the negative emotions of your opponents. So Minato's sensory capabilities and his Sage Mode enhancements, all this stuff would also be bolstered by the negative emotion sensing technique, meaning it's really, really hard to catch this dude off guard. So let's talk about this a little bit more in depth in the comment section below, bro, because Minato is that guy. You know what I'm saying? Sensory type ninja, so you're just not going to catch him off guard. His reaction time is so quick that he's blocking, or he's not blocking, he's escaping Kamui and the 4th Raikage's lightning straight, which clocks in at above light speed or nearing light speed. Okay, so my dude Minato in base is already relativistic with his reaction time plus body flicker plus flying Raijin, and then you give him the ability to just know how many opponents, where they are, what kind of chakra natures they'd be able to use through his sensory capabilities. He could shut down any summons anybody would use, and then just doesn't even really need Sage Mode or KCM on top of it, but in case he did, he could add those too. And we understand Kyuubi Chakra Mode and Sage Mode meld together really well, to the point where Naruto's saying he's able to pull in nature energy faster than ever before when he's combining it with his 9.
Appreciate it, Loki. I didn't even realize my shit was muted. But you know, but like literally, I don't even know how long that was, but my bad, guys. But either way, like that's just fucking crazy. Like Minato's just cracked, because I could just imagine that. Like he's already being shown to go relative with KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto against Jubito, like, you know, fully prime, ready to go. Like imagine him doing that. It's easier to gather nature energy and just instant and quick, like, and faster. Like, bro, what do you do? Because at that point, Minato, like, probably, maybe now he doesn't have Sage Mode issues because he has Kurama, you know, in KCM2, where it gathers it super quick, and now he can just probably have it forever and ever, because that's the crazy thing. When Naruto is fighting against Jubito the whole time, he never runs out of Sage Mode. He's in it the entire time with the Nine-Tails Chakra. So meaning you could basically argue and imply it's constantly gathering, and it's so fucking quick, where you just have nature energy 24/7, because he's literally moving around and doing shit the whole time, and it never goes away. Or it probably does go away, because we do know nature energy is limited. What's it called? But then, like, he can just reactivate it right away, and he's still basically within the mode. Like, KCM2 Sage Mode is fucking cracked. It's absolutely cracked.
Nine-Tails.
So Minato,
so, I mean,
imagine him, hell no.
Could bypass this whole problem.
And with, like, flying Raijin on top of it, hell no. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
To need the Senjutsu Chakra to enter Sage Mode by just stacking it with KCM. So Minato, hella broken, bro. We already talked about his Rasengan, and I came up with theories for what the secret behind the Rasengan could be in that video. We talked about flying Raijin, we talked about the secrets of that one, and we talked about the Reaper Death Seal already, and all the secrets Kishimoto could possibly pull out in his new manga that drops in like a week, bro. So July 18th, we're supposed to get the new Minato spin-off one-shot. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically what you have. W video. Did a very, very good job. Very nice and short and concise, thorough, straight to the points. You know, objectively speaking, even subjectively as well. Very, very, very good. He couldn't have done any more of a better job. Well done. Well done. Well done. You guys let me know what you think of Minato overall. You know, let me know how cracked you think he is. You think he's a very well-versatile character, you know, where he basically, the sky, you know, it's free reign, the sky is the limit, you know, right? Let me know how far do you think he goes in base, how far you think he is in Sage Mode, with KCM2, and Sage Mode, the whole 9. Very, very curious what you guys have to think as well. Subscribe for more content, subscribe to the channel. Batman out. Peace.